Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. So today I and my team members will be presenting on chemical hazard. And so first of all, let me introduce myself first. My name is Siti Nur Aisyah binti Muhammad Asrul. My metric number is 4243001501. So the next presenter will be Nur Ali Naziha, and following by Fatiha Nazira, and lastly presenter is Dania Aisyah. So we will look at 3 chemical hazard cases, but now I'll be focusing specifically on case 1, which is the ammonia gas leak at a food factory in Klang. So this incident was serious, that involving multiple workers' injuries and requiring immediate emergency response. So on January 24, 2025, a faulty valve at a food processing factory in Pulau Indah Klang has caused an ammonia gas leak. So the leak was result 7 workers being injured with symptoms of ranging from burns to respiratory problems. The team managed to contain the leak quickly, but the impact still raised significant concerns about equipment maintenance and emergency preparedness. So, from an industrial hygiene perspective, several root causes were identified, which is first, the valve malfunction due to the lack of maintenance. Second, there was no real-time gas detector installed. Lastly, there was poor ventilation and insufficient emergency training for the workers. So, the routes of exposure for ammonia included inhalation, dermal contact, and also eye exposure. So, health effect also included the respiratory issues, skin burn, and potentially long-term lung damage for those exposed.
Okay, I'm the second presenter. My name is Nur Ali Naziha binti Muhammad Takiuddin. My metric number is 4243002701. Okay, for this part is evaluation and control of ammonia gas leak at the Klang factory. Okay, the first is a lateral concentration. Ammonia has an LC50 of 2000 ppm, rate of 4 hours. The second is OSHA PAL, 50 ppm over 8 hours. And the third is IDLH, is 300 ppm for NIOSH. Next is a control measure. The strongest is gas leak detectors. So, the company must improve evaluation and have a emergency SOP and training. And the company give a PPE, which means a respirator and a chemical for the workers of resistant clothing. For applicable act, this incident falls under the Occupational Safety and Health Act, OSHA, 1994. So, especially for Section 15, for require employers to ensure safety, health, and the welfare of all employers. Section 17 cover non-employer person who may be affected. And the third is use and the standard of exposure of a chemical hazards to Health Regulation 2000, which means set a exposure limit and a safety measure for hazard chemical like ammonia. Next. Okay, this part is a cases 2. The title is uncontrolled release of a chemical during illegal pesticide endanger health, harm the environment, and risk food safety. Okay, on 20 July 2024, these cases following a tragic incident where 2 children died and a teenager was hospitalized after consuming snake lace with illegal red poison. So the Malaysia Crop Life and the Public Health Association, the short name is MCPA, called for urgent action against the sales and use of unregistered pesticides. So the incident highlights the growing concern of unregulated online pesticide sales. Next. For this part, from industry hygiene for illegal pesticide waste. Okay, the first is unregistered product. It will be lack of safety testing and may contain harmful or toxic substance. So the second is online sales unregulated platform by pest control, and it will be risk of measles and accidental for poisoning. The third is lack of awareness. So public or workers often unaware of a pesticide danger, so especially for in-home with children. So route of entry, ingestion committed for food. For this case is example is snake. Inhalation, aerosol or powder exposure. The third is skin contact. It will be missing or applying chemicals. For eye contact, splash or port storage. So for health effect, acute it will be cause nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, and breathing issues. For it will be chronic too, so it will be organ damage, reproductive issue, and it will be cancer risk. So for children, high vulnerability due to small body size and developing system. Next presenter.
Good morning everyone, my name is Fatihana Zah binti Badur. Today, I want to present evaluation and control case to illegal pesticide. Next, I will explain the evaluation and control for case 2 more detail. For the first thing, the toxic chemical involved in this case is prodeficum, which is commonly found in rat poison. This substance is very dangerous, especially for children. The LD50 is only 0.27 mg per kilogram, meaning just a small amount can cause death. That's why the risk level is very high, especially when these chemicals are sold without proper regulation. For control measure, the strongest is we must public education and strict enforcement. This can prevent people from buying or using illegal product. And not only that, other control include for our to do a restraint online sales and using PPE like glove and mask for handling. This case is related to this act and regulation also. For the first thing, pesticide at 1974 and section 6, 13 and 45, Food Act 1983 for the food safety, and OSHA 1994 Section 1, 5 for worker protection. This law help protect public health, especially vulnerable groups like children. For the next slide is background for the case 3 and transport spill. This incident happened on 25 June 2025 at the Air Hitam Toll Plaza, and a lorry carrying urea formaldehyde resin overturned on the highway, and the hazmat team was called to handle the situation, and luckily there were no injuries, but there was a risk of chemical exposure to the environment.
Hello everyone, my name is Dania Aisyah binti Rizal. IH element for case 3, reason that contribute to the hazard or danger: improper storage or securing of chemical containers in the lorry during transit, leading to leakage when the vehicle overturned, lack of proper labeling or chemical containment protocols that could have minimized the spillage or improved emergency response, possible unsafe driving condition or human error, contributing to the lorry skidding, which led to the accident. The first reason is the chemical barrier were not kept properly in the lorry, so when the lorry crashed, they spilled. The second reason is there were no label or safety steps, so it was hard to control the situation. And the third reason could be the driver make a mistake or the road was slippery. Route of entry and effect to human health: inhalation, vapor or fumes from the chemical spill, dermal contact, skin exposure during cleanup or proximity, ingestion if chemicals contaminated food or water source. The chemical can enter the body by breathing in the gas, touching the chemical with skin, or by eating or drinking something that got contaminated. Effects to human health: respiratory irritation or chemical burns, headache, dizziness or nausea. Long-term exposure risk may include organ damage or carcinogenic effect depending on the chemical. It can cause breathing problems, skin burns, headache or nausea. If someone is exposed for a long time, it can damage organ or even cause cancer. Evaluation and control. Evaluation report. A hazmat team was required indicating high toxicity or danger from the spilled chemical. Lethal dose reference LD50. If, for instance, the spilled chemical was chlorine, its LD15, although red, it's 292 mg or kg. Such data signifies that exposure, even in small quantities, can be lethal. Risk level: the use of full PPE by the response team and road closure indicate high to very high risky due to volatility or toxicity of the chemical. The hazmat team came because the chemical was very dangerous. Even small amount can kill. The team had to wear full safety suits and close the road, so the risk level was very high. Suggested control measure: engineering control, use of reinforced seal container for transporting hazardous material. Administrative control, mandatory chemical transport, safety training and road risk assessment. PPE, personal protective equipment, full body suit, respirator, glove and goggle for hazmat team and transport personnel. To stop this from happening again, we should use strong seal containers. We also need safety training for driver and proper planning of the road, and use full protective clothing for workers. Laws that apply to this case: OSHA 1994, employer must make sure workers are safe. Environmental law for chemical waste, Road Transport Act 1987, safe transport rules.